Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. Just going through some terminals. What am I actually doing today? Today I'm going to go fishing for some garfish. No, I haven't lost the plot and decided to use 4 rows. That's for an episode. Well, actually I'll do it when I get back from the garfishing this afternoon. I was going to, as promised, just run through how I make up my wire rigs for trolling for mackerel. Trolling and live baiting. There's actually two different slightly different rigs that you use for them. The nuances with the hooks, just to position the bait more favourably when you're actually live baiting. Obviously the bait's static in the water, but I'll get to that when I get back. Before that, I'm going to go and get some garfish. Well, that's the theory anyway. So I'm just rigging up the light line, and I thought if it's of interest to anyone, just give you a quick little rundown on how we catch garfish here anyway. So this style of float here is called a quill. So garfish, obviously we use a float, but far and away the best type of float to use is these really lightweight quills, they're called. So I use a very small rod, very lightweight, and I'm just using 2 kilo or 4 pound line, roughly 4 pound line. Straight through, no leaders, no nothing. Garfish, you know, the garfish, they're not very big, don't fight very hard. So if you hook one that you cannot stop on 4 kilo, it's probably a mini marlin, it's not a garfish, because you shouldn't have any worries on 2 to 4 kilo line class. So basically with the quill, there's a ring down the bottom. There's a ring down there, so your line goes through that obviously, but then up the top to secure it, you just got like a little piece of rubber just fed down over the quill with your line sort of pressed against the side, just that pressure keeps it in place. Some people like to do a bit of a double loop through the bottom one, so you go through once and you bring it around again if you like. You can do that, that just sort of stops the, you know, oops, I'm actually undone it there, which is a rookie moving it. So you go through again, just sometimes a little bit of rubber, if they get worn or whatever, they don't kind of hold the quill in place as good as what they should, but that will, and you can still sort of then, you know, slide it up and down according to the depth that you want. So basically that's it, put the quill on. Hooks. Gars have got very, very small mouths, and they've got a kind of awkward beak, actually dissimilar to a marlin. They've got the bill comes out on the bottom of the jaw, so they're quite tricky to hook sometimes, little buggers. So what I use, this is pretty universal, this one, it's a size 12 long shank. That one, I'm using the Gamakatsus here just because they're chemically sharpened, obviously. Really good points on them, red. I don't think colours are a really big deal for gars. Basically these are just a whiting hook, but a much smaller version of it. Get down to the small as you can, 14s even if you can. The long shape is sort of the preference. So with the gar floats, some blokes swear by no weight at all. Basically you just cast out and you let your quill or your float just sort of lie flat horizontally on the water surface. Yeah, and when a gar hits it, usually you can see the gar. They'll sort of flash around your bait or have you, or you'll actually see the, usually using red or dough or whatever, you'll see it disappear. That means it's got it in its mouth, and you'll see it sort of float and move off. Some guys swear by no weight, or you can put weight on it if you want, and sensitivity is a big issue. So you really want to just have, you know, from the marker up, sticking out of the water. So by that I mean you've really got it weighted so that it takes very little pressure from the fish to trigger the float or pull it under or what have you. Very similar to blackfish, I guess. You know, you don't want that that float signaling to the fish that there's something wrong. Now, so I just tie the ball on. You don't want it free running. You don't want anything near the hook. So what I'm saying is, so that's the end of the line there where I tie the hook on. That's the ball there. So that's about the distance, minimum sort of distance you want between the sinker and your hook for the gars, because you don't want to spook them. The reason I'm going gar fishing is I want to get a couple of some dead troll baits, and I'm going to rig them up actually, you know, at night, and then freeze them down. And I'll show you guys how to do that as well. And I'm doing that because I'm going to go and explore some new ground soon in the kayak for mackerel and what have you. And the dilemma always is when you go on new ground, you don't know where the live bait sits. Yes, you can bum around and you know, try and find them. But the next best option I've found is actually just trolling dead baits, and they're pretty good to use actually. Always good to have a dead bait out. Whilst you know, if you're on a new patch of ground, you sort of drive around or battling around in my case, looking for bait to show up in your sounder. Always good to have a good rigged up dead bait out the back whilst you're doing it, because you never know. That's basically it. So hopefully you see that. We just got float, sinker, very small hook, and that with that weight ball on it, should just keep that quill just with the tip sitting out of the water. I've used that weight before, so that's what I know how it's going to sit. Righto. That's about it. Nothing too exciting. So what I'm going to do now is just pack up some gear. I'm going to go down to the local harbour, one of the breakwalls down there. Southerly at the moment, so quite protected on the seaside, and that's where the Garies fortunately sit. We'll just see if they're there. I had a wander the other day and the guy was catching some, so we'll see if we can get some. And I'm also, if I get a few, the missus is going to cook a couple up, and we might do a little catch and cook with them. Hey guys, so I just got down here, just chucked out first cast. Tuna out there working. Got a Gary on the first cast. Like, there's that small mouth that I was talking about, the bill coming off the bottom of the jaw, but whoop, perfect size troll bait. Hard to chase Gary's when there's tuna right there. Don't look at it, Robert. Who forgot to bring a metal lure down? Fish everywhere. There we go. Another one. Garfish. There we go. Another one. Not bad size go. It'll be just about perfect for troll baits, and also pretty good to eat. Yep. Oh, that's a good gouge. That's a good one. There we go. He's a good one. That's a good Gary. That's a good eating size, that one. pretty good to eat. Pretty good to eat too. No expert on rescues, I think. This is going to do one. We're going to have to Google it for you, and we'll do one. That one too many. I just want half a dozen control baits, and then get a couple to eat. Hook this up. You might notice that every now and then I'm just chucking in a handful of actually chicken pellets, crushed up chicken pellets from my chooks. Just very little bit. You just want to get the gar interested, but not full. You don't want to fill them up. I actually don't throw it out as far as where the gar are. They don't like to come in on this location anyway. They don't like to come right in on the rocks. But that just gets them a bit fired up, I reckon. My theory anyway. Yep, there we go. Oh, that's a good gar, this one. A good gar. Here's another point I can make. We've got probably 25, 30 knot southerlies outside. Pretty much shutting down everything. No going to kayak. Struggling in a boat with this swell or whatever, the wind's horrible. But there's always somewhere you can find tucked out of the wind, up a creek somewhere maybe, down a wall, lee side, catching garries, having a ball. So don't always think that because one option's shut down, there is an alternative. There always is. Hey guys, so I'm back at the ranch, got my garries. I've done that since high school. There you go. So the missus has already put dibs on half of them, the big ones already. Isn't that right, sweetie?
Yes.
Right. So I'll take the smaller ones, I think the smaller models, and I'm gonna rig them up and show you guys how we rig them up for trial baits. But that was probably one of the funnest little sessions I've had in ages. I know they're garfish, and people say they're just garfish, they're just bait, but I had a ball. And like I said, you can learn a lot from trying to catch the humble garfish. Setting the hook, keeping pressure on when you're fighting them, because have you seen me countless times I'd hooked a fish and they spit it so easy. So there's lots to learn from this humble little fish. But that's